Well, I got home last night and guess what was waiting for me? My new control arms with all new bushings and ball joints and everything. I've already done the driver's side and I'll show you. It's pretty well worn on that one. As you can see, the new one, not hardly any play. But these were $50 a piece, and I could have bought, you know, new bushings, I guess. But for what I spent on the control arm that comes with a new ball joint and both bushings, it's just cheaper. And these ones look like they'd be a real bear to get out. They almost look like they're a two-piece deal. You know, one pushes out that way and the other one pushes out that way. And they've got this metal thing, so I don't really think they would be fun to try and change them. I don't know how they come out, but this is just the easier way to go, I think. So I'm going to go ahead and finish up the other one I started, and then I'll flip the other side and show you how I did it. Nice and shiny. Alright, here's the other side. It's pretty simple. First thing I'm going to do, obviously, take the tire off. And then we'll go ahead and take that sway bar end link off. Take that out of the way. And then what I'm going to do is go ahead and come in here, and I'm going to turn off my air compressor. Damn thing. I'm going to come in here and I'm going to take this bolt out right here. I'm just going to hit it with an impact because these nuts actually have little flanges on them that hold them from moving. So take an impact and get that one off, and then I will probably take the ball joint loose because this one's a little tricky to get to with an impact, but it works the same way. Has a little notch on the nut that hits this metal and stops it from moving, so I don't need to put a wrench there. Yeah, and then I'll just slap the new one in. It's pretty simple. I'll spare you most of this because you've seen it, but that's about all there is to it. The only tricky part is getting this bushing back in. I had to take a screwdriver on the last one and kind of, you know, push as I push it with a screwdriver, bend it in as I pushed it in. But that's pretty simple. Well, there we go. I got the new one in. I just got to put the ball joint on, and you know, it's a pretty easy job if everything, you know, isn't all rusted and everything. This side came right out, no problem. Went right back in, no problem. So not too complicated of a job. Here's the old one that came out of this side, and it's probably worse than the other one. But I did discover that it is a two-piece unit because this thing, it just comes apart, and they have what looks like a rubber piece in there. So I would assume you would take out those, pound them down, insert a new rubber piece. What if that's two-piece rubber? Probably two-piece rubber, and then slide new ones of those back in, press them in. But that just seems like a big pain in the butt. So now I kind of see why they sell the whole arm and not just a bushing, or they don't sell the bushing often. But there you go. That's pretty much done, and next up is the serpentine belt. Holy hell, that belt took me longer than it did both control arms put together. On this one, apparently you have to loosen the motor mount to get the belt on. So what I did is, there's a stud down there with a spacer, and a stud up here with no spacer, and then I took these two nuts off, and that allowed me to jack up the engine a little bit, whatever way I needed to get the stud out and the spacer out. And then I wedged the belt behind there. I don't know how well you can see that. I don't have a light handy. I left it at my brother's house. But I wedged it back behind there, and I took it through where that spacer used to be, and then put it back on. And now I gotta finagle that bolt in, because that bolt, I don't know if I have it laying around here somewhere, but that bolt is really long. Here it is. And to get that out and clear the frame, you have to lower the engine down as far as you can, and I actually had to kneel on the alternator, push it down a little more, and then slide it out, and then you can wiggle that spacer out from the bottom. Top one's not that bad. And once you get those out, and these off, you should be able to wiggle it enough to do it. It says take the whole thing off, but I wasn't about to do that, so 2 bolts is enough. Now I got the new belt on. Where's the old belt? I'll show you. Yeah, that book didn't help me. It's for a 95 Aurora. Yeah. But here's my old belt. As you can see, it's a little bit chewed up. So I needed a new one. But there's no way you're going to do this on the side of the road, I'll tell you that. And the tensioner wheel is pretty new, so I think I'm going to leave that alone. It should be alright. But we'll throw it back together and we'll go take her for a test drive. Well, there's one little thing I got to change from what I said before. This top stud with bolt here, it does actually have a spacer. And I didn't see that because when I whipped the belt around it, it didn't move at all. And then I came back and it was out of there, and I found it on the floor, and so there's a spacer there if you want to know. But it's all back in, so let's go for a test drive. Well, we're all done. I've got the new belt on, I've got the new control arms on. I can already tell it's riding a lot better, a lot smoother in the front end. So I think that's a pretty good job. I'm just gonna burn it uptown, and you know, if I have any problems I'll come back to you, but that's basically it right there. I like it. We'll be good for a lot of miles now.